So we can see that dwarves oriented themselves in the middle of the map, as we have predicted. But humans have worked in all fronts. They now take the territory on the west, but also east is being taken by them. So, and that is slowly being pushed to the south, but we see here on the southwest that they are gaining some territory there. But the dwarves are now holding the center and probably will remain there for some time. We can see that the year of the war is 64 now. So this went very far in the future now. And to make the game faster, every decade gives every kingdom another opportunity to select targets. So right now they have 6 additional targets being able to use every turn, and 1 base one, so 7 targets. When the year will become 70, they will be able to place 7 plus 1, so 8. I'm planning to have more kind of influence on this, so like amount of tiles should have some effect on the amount of attacks you have, maybe wealth and stuff like that, but I'm still thinking about how to resolve this. But now you can see this became pretty stable. Like it was very dynamic just few turns, but now it slowed down a lot. Empire is still in the center, it's in the war mode, so it's trying to fight back, but yeah, let's see, maybe we can see how do they hold to the lands, or so they're pretty stable around 58 tiles. Same with the wealth, it's yeah, they're still showing some tooth. On the other hand, if we look at the human, the amount of lands they have is also not changing that much. It's much more than any other, but the rapid progression is not there anymore. Now we can see that it kind of makes up this impression that Horde, that has gained some more lands in the south. I'm not sure have they lost more on the northeast, but maybe slowly they are doing so, because as you can see the wealth is not that different. You can see that the dwarves have not that less wealth as humans have. So let's look at the wealth overlay. Yeah, so you can see even though humans have a lot of lands, the most wealthiest place is in here. So it's 19,000 just in one tile. Like each of the human tiles 250. So dwarves are kind of building a fortress in the middle. It's like a dwarf fortress. But now Empire strike back in here. We see a huge hole, and the undead territories here were kind of cut off. They are still fighting there, but that might be a bad sign for them. Oh, they try to push north in here. And the 1 foothold in here. That's interesting. Well, but humans regained this territory now. So what we probably will see is humans will gain everything apart from dwarves, slowly taking the undead out of the game, maybe Empire as well, and then as they will hold so many of the tiles, they will slowly start picking up of dwarves in the middle and biting them slowly but steadily. If I'm predicting correctly, because something else may happen. You can see continuously the events for the empire are changing, but again, this is not yet implemented. It's just showing what would be happening if the code will be there. Maybe next release. I probably should add yet another speed, but I'm not sure. Maybe 100 is not true. Maybe this is, or probably it's going slower than 100. Okay, let's see the statistics again. Yeah, so now dwarves are the first in terms of wealth. The growth is somehow still biggest for human, but I think they're fighting most of the battles, so they're losing most of the wealth during that fights. And wars in the center are not that contested, so they are able to accumulate more, especially in the center. So the outskirts of dwarf territory may be harmed, but they don't own that much wealth there. So what they own in the center is protected by the armies inside. Yeah, Empire is still fighting, but it looks like it's almost gone. Like it has like maybe less than 10 tiles now located here. And it kind of feels like they just regained even more. Let's see, let's remove the biggest guys. Yeah, so Empire is in the bottom. Still going up and down, but bottom indeed. Yeah, I'm curious how much longer would this take to just run like this to stabilize completely. I have seen, I've tried to run these simulations like this before on a map of this size, some smaller, and yeah, some of them, or maybe most of them, eventually they stabilize. Like only one of the kingdoms is owning the tiles, and the rest is still try to fight, but it's not able to kind of fight back with kingdom holding that much. But here we are seeing very long struggle. Humans are kind of taking the foothold here, but they struggle a lot still. The going through the small islands here is being forbidden by undead. Do they even have a lot of... No, they don't even have a lot of wealth there, but maybe humans are not trying the attacks there. Yeah, let's see the wealth. Yeah, so still dwarves are the wealthiest ones. Let's just see dwarves and humans. Yeah, head to head almost. And yet again, having the growth much smaller than human. So all these wars around the center makes humans lose that much. So as long they will stop fighting the undead, stop fighting the empire, they should be able to eat up the dwarves pretty quickly. Yeah, this tile just was drained, but again drained. And again, favorite place for undead to drain this place. Of course, in the final game, player will have more options than just looking, and will be able to affect the game more, not only by making the campaigns of each of these battles by themselves, as this would take a lot of time, but also to kind of guide the military personnel to work in one way or another. Like if you would want the generals to let's say focus on this area, you will be able to do so. They will not always take your advice into consideration, but they will try to, so you would see more of the battles kind of happening here. It might not be a good idea though. As you can see, these tiles might be very hard to conquer, as they're surrounded by water, maybe pretty much easy to defend, so you might be losing a lot of resources there. Now we are seeing again that slowly humans are gaining the area in here. Would that mean that undead will shift even more to the west, or would that mean that they will eventually die? Because we see humans go almost to the south in the middle, and sometimes acquiring the tiles on the east. Let's see statistics again. And now you can see the dwarves' wealth went a little bit down to be almost same as human. Very interesting. And that still having these peaks for defend, and dwarves very good aggressive power. So humans is they are average. They are not the ones that shine that much. Yeah. But maybe average is the way to win it in the long term. Empire still fighting. And of course, in the final game there will be more kind of easier ways to destroy a faction. Like Empire at this state should not be that strong and able to defend itself, so there should be some penalties for allowing this terrain to be lost all the time. Like there's almost no wealth in here, so these armies should not be able to retain that long. Maybe some sort of a devastation should be present in the terrains, like this land was not fought for a long time, but this is constantly being retaken, so maybe I will add some sort of a devastation parameter that will disallow the wealth to be regained and these attacks being performed from these tiles that often. Or maybe weaker. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it should basically be weaker when the tiles are devastated, and then this should kind of handle the situation. Again, this is a question for the balancing of the game and looking at the statistics for hours. Yeah, but this is something I like, so I'm kind of enforced to do it. Yeah, I don't think we will wait any longer. Well, but this is so tempting, right? I'd want to see the outcome of it. But we have 190 years that this war is still ongoing. And the empires, surprisingly, have quite a lot of tiles. This kind of makes sense a bit, because the least wealth there is in this land, so the wealth is being drained during these battles. It's easier to conquer. What's not entirely valid is, as I said, these attacks should not be performed with the strength of fresh army. Yeah. Yeah, now humans and empires being shown in the middle of undead. This might be a sign of for undead to be gone soon. You know, I was saying that before, but now you see that these peninsulas are being overtaken by humans or dwarves, so only the last one is still held by undead. But the middle of their land is constantly changing. So as long as this will fall, I guess the center will fall as well. Now we have seen this small push of undeads going to this terrain, but they will very quickly pushed back. This middle terrain still owned by Empire. And let's remove humans from this. Yeah, Empire is gaining. They have almost the same amount of as dwarves. And that is going down now, up. Yeah. Shifting constantly. You see this? So, as it's 211 years in the game, they are able now to target 22, 23 targets every turn. That's why it's shifting that much, and that's why maybe it's kind of not allowing it to stabilize, because maybe that's too much and they just regaining the territory all the time. So in this kind of scenarios, I was hoping for strategies to be able to kind of enforce one way or another, but that's also might need to be balanced out. For sure, these crises events of Empire would either make it much stronger and it would regain terrain, or dead by now, so this will change the behavior as well. Yeah, I still kind of have that feeling that undead are slowly dying, but these tiles are very much. Look how much wealth they have. They're very wealthy. Let's see the overlay again. Yeah, so again, 28,000 in the center. Oh, look at this. Dwarves created a really powerful empire in the middle. Yeah. So these terrains are still 1 bar, so even though they are 10 times more than what we have here, because of the unrealistic amount here, this kind of looks like all of it is the same. Crazy. Imagine how much battles the humans will need to perform to take over this. Yeah, but bottom is mostly owned by humans now. And this 3-2 tiles here, interesting. 13, 17. Yeah, and these are not orcs, these are undead. Orcs behave differently because orcs steal wealth by raids, and that's constantly drain the terrain around them, which make them stronger. Yeah, look at this again, they regain this. This is madness. How much time it will take to have them finish it. I'm not even following all this Empire events that has happened here, but if you're interested in it, you can just see it. Oh, let's see. No. See this. Still fighting back. Yeah, but the east kind of started to lose these tiles more often. Dwarves started to appear southward from their kingdom. Yes, look at this. This is very interesting now. Will dwarves will be the conquerors at the end? I still kind of have a feeling that it will be humans, but it's 250 years since we started this war. Empires still fighting around here. And deaths are being pushed. It's funny because this tile is being attacked so many times. Oh, I think I know why it's not possible to win it. It's because of the water around it. Because undead are stronger when they have these drained tiles around them. And probably the tiles with water, as they have no kingdoms, are considered being drained. So that might be my mistake. But eventually they also will be that hard to take as kind of defensive terrain. So let's look at the statistics again. So yeah, dwarves were at least more wealthy, and they go back to the same amount. If we look at the owned tiles, this is still going nowhere. Can it even go somewhere? Empire now holds so many tiles in the undead territories. But maybe that's the thing. Maybe when you have this hole inside, it will drain these stronger tiles of undead, and eventually Empire from the center and humans from the top or from the north will kill it eventually. It's funny that dwarves have not regained the territory to the north at all. They're still fighting over this terrain. Yeah, the other overlay I'm planning to have in the future is the amount of battles that appeared in the lands. So you will have the overlay, and you will see where the most of the battles has occurred. This might be interesting after 300 years of the war. Let's see. So just few of them still have a lot of wealth, but that's being drained as well. Let's disable the wealth to make it a bit easier to see. The demonic empire is now having foothold on the south. It's so crazy. Yeah. Yeah, and feeling that undeads are disappearing is big, but I think it's again this problem with this infinite amount of oh yeah, now I have unchecked the last marker, I think. That crashed the game. Yes. So we will know the answer. We will never know the answer. This is the last screen that you're seeing. But I will try to fix some of these bugs, and I will provide another video like this of the full game until it stabilizes, and I will publish it on the channel. But for this battle, this war, thank you for viewing it with me. Bye bye.